All right, I think that's everyone. Good morning. Let's get the show on the road. Look good. Thank you for that person who just started the attendance. Remember, guys, on entering, first things first, full name and group in the chat so we can mark attendance. All right. Our goal today is to continue our discussion on noun phrases and how we can create different clauses in our sentences, some that will have clarifying information and some that will have extra information. Last class, we looked at articles, which are an important part of some noun phrases. So let's get deeper with relative clauses and relative pronouns. Now, as you saw in the video, relative pronouns and relative adverbs are doing the job of replacing the thing, the person, or the place, or they're adding a little bit information about the time, the location, or the reason of the person or action or thing or place in our sentences, right? So let's start off with the relative pronouns. The relative pronouns, as you saw in the video, are that, which, sorry, who, whom, and whose. Of course, the first and the last one can be used both for people and things, and you can tell that there are specific uses for them and for the others. So let's do that. Let's review when we use the different relative pronouns, and let's tackle some examples before we practice them. All right, I'm gonna activate the video panel and let's go in order. I think Eduardo Rendon was the first one who tried to jump in. So Eduardo, let's get you up first. Just mute Eileen. Eduardo, when do we use that?
Leo el fragmento.
Of course.
That. That is the relative pronoun most frequently used in spoken English, as it can be used for both people and things. In used in place of which, who, or one. In defining relative clauses, see below. Examples. This is the book that won the Pulitzer Prize last year. My friend is the girl that was on the cover of Vogue last month. This is the restaurant that received the excellent reviews in the newspaper.
Good. All right. So that is telling us either which thing or the person or people, right? So it can be used for both. It's a generalist, so to speak, right? Now, that, while it is flexible, which is not so flexible. We use it for only something specific. Jimena Susana, hit us with which. Is Jimena there with us? And for those who just joined, I think there's one person whose name is not in the attendance. Go ahead.
Sorry.
That's okay, love. Go ahead. Which?
Which is only used with things. Examples. My new job, which I only started last week, is already very stressful. The house which we live in when we were children burned down last week.
All right, just be careful with your ed endings. Started and lived. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Who? Zaud Lopez.
Yes. Who can only be used with people. And read the example.
Yes, please.
Okay. And my sister, who just moved in with me, is looking for a job. I never met someone who didn't like music.
Right. Just moved in. All right. Andrea Estefania. Whom?
Whom. Whom is used to refer to the indirect object of the verb, but is not often used in spoken English. Who is frequently used in the place of whom. Examples. The woman with the whom is was talking to was my cousin. This is Peter, whom I met at the party last week.
All right. Be super careful with this word because we have another word in English which you are pronouncing right now. And that word is this. All right. That is womb. The word, the relative pronoun we're practicing is whom. All right. A little difficult because it has a H sound. Right. So whom. Try again, Andy. Whom.
Whom.
There you go. Good. Yes. Womb is where babies are fertilized and develop inside their mummy's tummy. All right. So that's a womb. But when we talk about objects of the sentence, indirect objects, we use whom with a WH sound. Right. Natalie, let's continue with whose.
Whose. The use of whose indicates
Possession.
possession,
Possession.
possessions,
Mhm.
both for people and things. Example, that is the girl whose parents got divorced last year. Paul, whose wife just had a baby, will not be at work for a few weekends.
All right, one more time with the second one. Paul, whose wife just had a baby, will not be at work for a few weeks. Repeat.
Hi. Paul, whose wife,
Wife.
wife
Mhm.
just had a baby with a not
Again, will not be.
be at work for a few weekends.
A few weeks. Again, few weeks will not be at work.
Few weeks.
Weeks. Good. All right. Let me clear my screen. Let's go down some more. Now, those are relative pronouns. What about relative adverbs? Cuauhtémoc.
These reliefs search are something used instead of a relative pronoun to make the sentence easier to understand. This adverb refers to time, expression, location, or reasons. Examples: the university where I teach is an excellent school. Can you tell me when is the best time to call?
Good. So when will tell us some sort of location of the action to add clarification to our sentence. When will tell time, and why will tell reason. Right? So those are relative adverbs. Right? Now we'll notice that sometimes we don't need a relative pronoun nor a relative adverb in our sentence because the sentence is clear and the information is about an object. So I took what this morning? I took the exam. All right. I'm dating who? The woman. So we don't need that or who to connect the phrases because it is the thing, place, or person that the rest of the sentence is talking about. All right. Now, relative clauses can be broken down into either non-defining or defining. Let's look at the non-defining relative clauses. First, Alma.
Non-dependent relative clause. And the clause and additional information to the sentences. ¿Cómo se pronuncia eso?
Okay, one more time.
Comments.
Commas.
Commas are used to separate the non-definite relative clause of the rest of the sentence. That may ¿sí? May o might.
Yeah,
may not be used in the place of who and or which in the this the peso clause. My friend Tony, examples. My friend Tony Howe isn't an excellent grade. Is helping me with my English paper. The report which my boss asked me to grade last week still isn't finished. Sí.
All right. That one is finished because of the S8 sound, so you get a T. Finished. Good. All right. So my friend Tony, who's an excellent writer, is helping me with my English paper. Who is an excellent writer is extra. The sentence could have been, my friend Tony is helping me with my English paper. Same thing with the second one. The report still isn't finished. Extra information? It is the report which my boss asked me to write last week. So that's a non-defining one, all right? Extra information that doesn't change or that doesn't add any new details that is necessary to understand the sentence, all right? When we look at defining, we'll notice something different. Majo.
Defining relative clauses identify and define the person or thing to which we are referring. Commas are not used with this type of clause. I wrote the report that you asked for. She never met the man who saved her father's life.
All right, and my apologies here. This site that I chose has a little error here. We have never and we have saved. So I think this should be met. Right? All her life, she has never met or she never met. All right, I think it should be a little bit different. But the idea is, in the sentence, you're giving information that's necessary to understand. I wrote the report. What report? The report that you asked for. She never met the man. Who? Which man? The man who saved her father's life. So in these sentences, the clause is giving relevant, clarifying information, not just extra information, right? And therefore, when you have the defining clause, it is telling us something specific. For example, the employees who worked long hours completed their projects on time. Only those employees, the ones who worked extra hours. In the second sentence, the employees who worked long hours completed their projects on time. This is talking about all of the employees. The employees completed their projects on time. What did the employees do? All of them worked long hours. All right. So that's the big difference between the defining clause and the non-defining clause. As we work through, we will notice how to use them. Normally we do these exercises to practice, but I think I found better set. So let's go over here and look at some activities, right? I'm going to continue down the list, and I believe it's Valeria. Valeria, you get to start for us. Which one is the most appropriate?
I have a friend.
Mhm.
Ah, ¿me ponen las opciones, por favor?
Of course. Here we go
Por
again.
favor. Sería, I have a friends which speak 4
Languages.
languages.
Good. Yes. Because we're talking about a person. Good. Let's continue. Emilia, number 2.
The internet is a place
Mhm.
where
Good.
you can get cheap technology products.
Good answer. All right. What about emails, Alessandro?
Yeah, emails which advertise things are called spam.
Yes, those specific emails. All right, good. Zaud, who's a technophobe?
Yeah, a technophobe is someone that is scared of technology.
Correct. Because remember, that can be used for people and for things. All right. Eileen Montejano.
We should only buy products yeah, where can be recycled.
It can be recycled.
Recycle.
Good. All right. Let me scroll down some more. And the next person on the list is Mariana Vasquez. Mariana, number 6.
That's the shop where I bought two shoes.
Good. Probably got a good discount as well. Andrea Estefania, number 7.
Yes, I can find the city that I borrow for you.
That I borrowed from you. Frida.
I can find the city. Do you remember
Good.
the park that we meet?
Now, park, is it a place or a thing? All right. For things, yes, we could use that. But for places, we should use where. Which one do you think we should use in this one? Look at it again.
Do you remember the park where we meet?
Exactly. Talking about the place. All right. Yaira Acuna Lopez, number 9.
There were 3 people at the party. Who knew me?
Exactly. Who? Because it's people. Mariana Ramirez.
I want to see the film. Who everybody is talking about?
Is the film a person? Because we use who for people. No, right? So the better option there would be which.
Okay.
Again?
I want to see the film which everybody is talking about.
Good. All right. Now, what about the clauses? Let's continue over here with Enrique and Leo. Enrique, you first.
Yes. Did you really understand? Which I told you?
All right. This is a tricky one because it's not asking you in the same way that you would say it. Your response would use which or that, but the question would use what. All right. What I told you. What did I tell you? Did you understand what I told you? Yes, I understood. All right. So this is a tricky one because it is not like your relative pronouns. But when asking questions, you ask what, where, when, why, etc., etc. All right. Practice with me again.
Did you really understand what I told you?
Good. Leo, look at this phrase. We have a non-defining clause. What should we use?
Sería Mr. Bean, which had recently been fired, had a long list of misconduct.
All right, look at it again. Mr. Dean is a person. Which word do we use for people? We use who.
Who?
Who. All right, try again. Mr. Dean, who?
Mr. Dean, who had recently been fired, had a long list of misconducts.
Right. Eduardo Rendon, number 3.
The victims must have which were adults are being identified by the used authorities.
All right. Now, what do we remember about which? Which is only used for things. And who is used for people. What is this question is about? It's about las víctimas. People, exactly. Right, so we would use who. Again?
The victims, most of who were adults, are being identified by the used authorities.
All right. Cuauhtémoc?
I like this scene. Which 30 minutes scarecrow?
The scene is a thing, but what type of thing? A place. And what do we use for places?
Where?
Where? Good. All right. Repeat.
I like to sing where 30 meets Scarecrow.
All right. Dorothy.
The man who I am.
All right. Natalie, number 5.
This is the man which I am in love with.
Sure. But is the man a person? And what do we use for people?
Um, yeah.
Yeah.
One.
We use who.
Whom?
Who. All right. So if we go with whom, this is the man whom I'm in love with, which is not very common. We go with,
Qué normal.
okay, with us or with someone else? I think her microphone is open. One more time. This is the man who?
This is the man who I am in love with.
All right. Because whom is not so common. All right, let's go with Alma. Number 6.
I wasn't honest with ¿qué es Kenneth?
Kenneth es una persona, es el nombre.
Kenneth, no, which no. ¿Sí?
Sí, pues una cosa. Yo no fui honesto con Kenneth. Y por eso
made him furious.
All right, one more time. I wasn't honest with Kenneth, which made him furious. Repeat.
I wasn't honest with Kenneth, which made him furious.
Good. All right. I see some people who hadn't spoken yet, so let's go to the other Eduardo. Eduardo Giovanni, the Chancellor.
The Chancellor.
The Chancellor, both of whose
Okay.
sons were arrested in the corruption operation resigned yesterday.
All right. Josie Jimena, the police.
The police
The
searched
police
the vehicle. That the gun was found.
All right.
The driver.
Where? Because they're looking in the place. The vehicle is the
The police
place.
searched the vehicle where the gun was found.
All right. That's the location.
The police searched the vehicle where the gun was found.
All right. Let's go down to Eileen. Number 9.
The driver, which
Let me drop the letters again. There you go.
the driver who contract finishes at the end of the season doesn't want to talk about his future.
All right. The driver doesn't want to talk about his future. Yes. The additional information, is it about him or is it about the contract? It's about his contract, the contract belonging to him. All right. So we would use the possessive one. The driver whose contract finishes. Repeat.
The driver whose contract finishes at the end of the season doesn't want to talk about his future.
Good. Right. And let me skip over to someone else who didn't speak a lot today. Yaira, back to you.
Between 2000 2005.
Mhm.
She wrote 3 novels. None of which
Correct. Was published. Repeat. None of which was published. Looks like her microphone died on us, right? So that's what you're going to be practicing. Now, also remember. Sorry. Also remember that you should take a quick look at the noun phrases and how they're formed so that you can use them properly in your practice and in your forum. The forum is already open, so you can go ahead and submit your work as well as comment on the work of your classmates. And when it comes to the coming weeks, as I had mentioned, I want to have some online office hours. So I'll be in this classroom space every morning and every evening from Monday to Friday at 7 to 7:30. You can jump into the classroom if you have questions or doubts or just want to practice something or ask questions. And that way, if there's anything that's missing before these last days of classes, you can get those cleared up, right? So if you need anything, jump in. I'll see you soon. Do enjoy the rest of your Saturday and the rest of your weekend. Take care.